reach out to your teammate and make sure they have connected. All right, so my name is Ambassador Pastor Ibrahim Dikko, the Success Priest. All right, so I'll be sharing my testimony briefly, and then we continue. I'm a social entrepreneur. I'm a retired professional accountant. I finished from ABU Zaria some 25 years ago. Yeah, and then I got qualified while I was serving as a chartered accountant. And then, you know, hoping, I was very young, life was on my side, age was on my side. And they said, go to school. I went to school, got a professional certificate. I was ready that this certificate will give me the life that I'm looking for. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And I saw myself, you know, living the life of my father. And honestly, he tried for us, but it's not the life I wanted to live. So I started looking for ways to be successful, legit ways. Okay, so I dabbled into the world of business, but there was no coaching, there was no mentorship. We are just doing trial and error, and God helped me. I made a lot of money. But September of 2009, I can never forget that day. I lost over 20 million naira through scammers. Okay, so I don't want to go into the details of that, but I lost 20 million. All right, and that was how I saw myself. I saw myself crashing. You know, I saw myself moving from grace to grass within a twinkling of an eye. And that was when the second phase of my struggle started. And then at that point, God asked me to serve him, that if I serve him, he is going to restore whatsoever I've lost. So that was what gave birth to Manifestation International Christian Center 13 years ago. And when we started the church came with a lot of issues, you know, church land, church building, church people, my family. And honestly, feeding became a challenge. Accommodation became an issue. School fees became an issue. Because of that pressure, my blood pressure went up. Okay, and along the line, I started praying. Couldn't pay house rent, so I had to move to my church office and then started sleeping there, and then moved my family to one of my deaconess's house. So I was literally sleeping in church. December of 2017, I did my Christmas in my church office. January 2018, still there, praying. February 17th, you know, every night I'll be weeping, and then I'll be crying, and then I'll be asking God, what could I have done wrong? Where did I miss it? So to me, this opportunity came as an answer to my almost 3 months of prayers, honestly, and that's why I don't joke with it. So God came through for me, and one of my spiritual daughters sent me an invitation, and that was how I attended on the 17th of February, 2018. And I saw this amazing, amazing opportunity. Now, I wasn't asking question about when, how, the question was not, do I want to start? The question was, why didn't I see this opportunity 2 or 3 years earlier? While some of you are struggling to come on board and to do this business, that was not my experience. My experience, I was angry with myself that I would have seen this opportunity a year before that day or 2 years before that day. So God has to start calming me down and say, oh boy, calm down, you know, this is the time for you. And that's why you are invited. So I wasn't having money. I borrowed money to transport myself from my house to Gudu. So of course I was broke. I was as broke can be. So, but there was 2 options: to either walk out and say I don't have money, which was the truth, or to look for the money and change my life. The second option sounded better. So I called some few friends, and I was lucky. Luck was on my side. A friend borrowed me 50,000. And that was how I was able to secure my mastermind slot. Actually, it was Ambassador Dr. Elijah Mba, mastermind, that was presenting. So I secured my mastermind slot, and then immediately we started. And then he told me that, Pastor Dikko, if you are ready, between now and the next 12 months, you are going to have 180 degrees turnaround. I look at his successes, I look at where I am, I said, okay, let's go. So I submitted wholly to him. This was me before I joined this organization, senior pastor, a professional accountant, was broke. You can see the suits. You know, that's about 5,000, 7,000 naira suits. And just about 2 years after I joined, that's me on the right-hand side. After, you know, that's about 100,000 naira suit. In less than a year, my life was completely transformed. Listen to me. Everything my mastermind, our mastermind has told me has happened just exactly how he said it. Why? Because I was following, he was following me back to back, you know, closely, mentoring me. And in less than a year, I got qualified. He told me, Pastor Dikko, we're going to be traveling for an all expenses paid vacation. And this was me on my way to the Philippines. In less than a year, all expenses paid. This was my first time of entering the plane. Somebody go to the child handle and say, may God punish poverty. I was already 46 years old and I have never traveled by air, unfortunately. This poverty, So that was how God helped me. And then I saw myself for the first time. You needed to see how I was behaving when we were about taking off. All right. We went to the Philippines. Man, had an amazing time. Please take a look at my plate. I didn't joke with this, you know. And because of then, my poverty mentality, some of us, we are carrying food, snacks, and then stocking it into our pockets, you know, not knowing that we will not need the food, okay? So I had an amazing time, started eating food like this. 3 days after, this was the first day we landed Manila. 3 days, see, Bobo don't change. You know, who told you money is not good? Who told you you're ugly? You have not seen some depth of money. When some depth of money hits you, you know, that ugly guy, that ugly lady becomes a very pretty person. And the last 5 days we spent it in Bataan, amazing place. I had an amazing experience, you know, and this is my mastermind working with me. Thank you so much, sir. You know, this was like 2019. I'm sure mastermind will just be laughing. Yes. So he was working, he was working with me, calling me, you know, mentoring me back to back. And in less than 6 months, I saw my business peaked. And I submitted to mentorship. When you say, Pastor Dikko, jump, I'll say, sir, how many times? And then I'm ready to do the jump. That's Dr. Alita, you know, in the middle, you know, Ambassador Dr. Alita, amazing time. Submitted myself to mentorship. Our mastermind started working with me. I was so fortunate when our mastermind was ready to start building his team all over again. I was the first person that came up. And then so I had that privilege to start the new phase of the Phenom business. And then he started working with me, and before you know it, it worked. Followed me to so many places. I was looking for that picture we snapped in Eket. You know, I have to drag our mastermind, Ambassador Dr. Elijah back to Eket. You know, him, Calabar, everywhere, Akonga, Lafia, we are just there, holding event back to back. And honestly, in just about 6 months, my financial fortune turned around. In less than a year, we are selected among the top 100 highest income earners in just less than a year. That's myself on the left. That's Dr. John, Ambassador Dr. John. That's Ambassador Dr. Alita. That's Dr. Ruth, Amazon Ambassador. And that's our G8 leader, Ambassador Architect Moses Onu. In less than a year, you know, most of us were not up to a year here. And we are selected through his mentorship and coaching. We are selected among the top 100 highest income earner. Like Dr. John was just some few months then. Even our G8 leader, Ambassador Architect Moses Onu, Dr. Alita, most of them less than a year, some 8 months, some 7 months, and through tenacity and consistency and close monitoring, we just shifted, and that has been our journey to today. As a result of that mentorship, in just about 10 months, I was able to get this car for my wife. I got the second car, and by the grace of God, that was our church before I joined, and this is our church today, completely transformed. And by the grace of God, we are working on this already. We call this the Cathedral of Help. Someone helped me, and we're in a help organization. So already we've started working on this as a result of this amazing opportunity. If you are just dragging your feet with this business, so sorry for you. And God has helped me. I've been able to raise some leaders. That's my wife, Pastor Mrs. Janet Dikko. And then I have these amazing people that God has helped me to also raise in this business. And that was Lagos, early 2019, where I was celebrated as a gold executive, and then millionaire cycle world stage, and by the grace of God also celebrated as a global ambassador, prime in this business. Okay, and also got a lot of awards from this organization. Kosi, I owe everything that I am today to God and to our mastermind and to all our masterminds. Thank you so much, and to all our G leaders, and particularly my G leader, Ambassador Dr. Emelda. Thank you so much for all that you're doing and all that you are doing for humanity. I celebrate you. I wouldn't have been here without all these great men. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And, this is us, several years ago, I have to go to the archives and get this amazing picture. These guys made my life happen. Thank you. I appreciate you a lot. Now, some of you are already asking, this is another pastor that has backslided. He's pursuing after money. I'm still pastoring. Okay, that picture you are seeing, that why that's me. It was just yesterday. That's our Thanksgiving service. I held 2 services yesterday, powerful services. That's our church. Very, very successful. God has blessed us. And some of you are asking, how have you been able to balance between the business and the church? Well, the church is my calling. Okay, so it's something that God has called me into, and not something that I want to stop. All right, but I was able, it's very simple. I was able to just avoid a lot of distractions. Okay, if I'm not grinding, I'm in church. If I'm not in church, I'm at home. These are the triangular things I do. Anything outside this triangle, you won't find Pastor Dikko there. Okay, so it's either I'm grinding, or I'm in church, or I am at home. Okay, so I just cut off a lot of unnecessary things, and then that helped me to focus, and also all the successes that are coming, helping me, helping my family, helping the church, and all that. Okay, so in case you are a pastor and you are feeling you can get distracted, no, there's no distraction. This can even help you to be able to fulfill your purpose the more. Okay, so why was I able to achieve this? Exactly what I'm about to share today is because I discovered the power of leverage. Yes, I understood leverage. It took me time to understand this powerful term, and if I discovered this, or I had an understanding of the concept called leverage, honestly, I would have been far much better than where I am today. Okay, but because I didn't have this understanding, it has costed me a lot. When I look back today with this understanding, and I say, if I've understood the word leverage in this business, in our networking business, if I understood it maybe earlier when I got started, a lot of things, a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors that I've done that has costed me so much. Honestly, if I had understood, if I had an understanding of this concept, it will have helped me. Now, if you are in this meeting, I want to ask you to stay tuned, okay? Now, anytime you see a general, don't just be carried away with the stars of a general. Behind those stars, by the time that general remove his clothes, you'll find scars. Okay, so when you see us, when you see our leaders, you see our mastermind, you see all the ambassadors, you see the G8 leaders, you see successful people. Now, behind this success, behind this glory, there are scars. And we cannot just be talking about the glory. We should also be able to talk about the story. Behind every successful person, there are stories, okay? So, and one major thing, and you don't have to wait to learn from your errors. Please don't do that. It can be very, very costly. You must learn from other people's experiences. Because if you have to wait to experience it yourself, the damages can be irrecoverable. You may not be able to recover the damages that will be done. And that's what I'll be sharing today, is some of the things that I suffered because I didn't understand this concept. Now, if you are here and you are a presenter, or you have done this business some few months now, you will hear the word leverage. But how many of us have the understanding of that word? If you are into this business, this organization, and you don't fully understand this word, it's going to cost you. It will cost you dearly. It will cost you, it will cost your team. It will bring a lot of damages to you and a lot of losses to you. And that's why I said, okay, when our mastermind said, okay, Pastor Dikko, please, can you share with us? I said, no problem, sir. And then I started thinking, I said, okay, there was something that I was talking much about it. When I was doing presentation, I was doing training, I talked about leverage, but I didn't understand it until just some few years ago. And I don't want some of us to go through those terrible and difficult terrain that I went through. And that's the essence of today's presentation. Okay, so what is leverage? So what is leverage? Okay, so leverage comes from the word lever. Okay, and using physics, a lever allows you to lift a huge weight with a small effort. Please, I hope you can hear me and you can see me. You can hear me, please just go to the chat handle and type, let me be sure. All right, I can hear myself, so I'm sure you can hear me and you can see me. All right, so leverage comes from the word lever. Okay, so yes, thank you, Anthony. Now, using physics, a lever allows you to lift a huge weight with small effort. Okay, so you are leveraging on something that can help you not to use so much of your energy. Actually, you will not be able to lift up that weight. So you use something, okay, you can see it from this picture, you can see it right there. So you use something and then put it on that, maybe a stone or something, and with that you can be able to lift up a very huge weight, with small effort. So bringing it to bear in our business, how do we express this word leverage in network marketing? Okay, now when you understand and you run with the concept of leverage in this business, it will help you to create massive success with less effort for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's the essence. You can become extremely successful for the rest of your life, not putting as much that you should put. Okay, so you'll be able to leverage on the principles of network marketing. Okay, so leverage is the act of duplicating time through the efforts of others to achieve maximum result. It's not just about you. We all have 24 hours a day, and it's just you. So how much of you can you do within 24 hours? So, but with this concept of leverage, if you're able to understand it very well, it will help you, to duplicate your time through the efforts of others to achieve maximum result. It is through leveraging that you are given the chance to gain more with less effort. You achieve more with less effort. You do much effort today to build a business, then later as you are doing much, you are getting not too much result. Then later you do less, and then you have much result, and then later you do nothing, and then you keep enjoying the result of your work for the rest of your life. You can only achieve it through network marketing, through this business, through the force of leverage. Though the force of leverage is applied to almost every aspect of life, it is only through network marketing that you can get the most out of it. Okay, a business person can get the benefits of leverage. Okay, now a business person, you have your own business, yes, you can get some little bit of benefits of leveraging. But honestly, where leveraging is most effective, please stay with me, where leveraging is most effective is in network marketing. That is where you'll be able to maximize the benefit, okay? As opposed to traditional businesses, everyone involved in network marketing is given an equal opportunity to build their own business by spending only a portion of their time and energy to experience maximum result, okay? So through leveraging, everybody has the chance to earn what they're worth. So it's not about you looking for one long leg, looking for somebody to favor you, trying to, bypass the system in your place of work. So your boss does not like you, your boss like you, and all that stuff. No, it does not happen here. In this, our particular business, you are paid what you are worth. And everyone, we are over 1,000 just on this Zoom meeting. I'm not talking about those that have connected through our YouTube page. We are over 1,000, almost like 2,000. And every one of us that is listening to the sound of my voice, we have an equal opportunity to succeed. It can only happen through leverage, through understanding this concept. All right, so let's move on. Understanding leverage is the most important part of creating real wealth. Until you understand this concept, you will continue to struggle. It baffles me when people quit this business. Anytime I hear someone quits, it just tells me one thing, that you lack understanding of what we are in. Honestly, I always hear our president, the entrepreneur mentor himself, I always hear him say, how do you quit this business? Every time he talks, honestly, I'll just keep asking myself, what is he trying to say? Until I fully understood leverage. Why will you on earth want to live a business that has the capacity to pay you for the rest of your life? Why will you want to live a business that, after you build it for some 2-3 years, it can take care of you for the rest of your life? Then even when you are not alive, this same business, you will be able to transfer to your next of kin. Why on earth would somebody want to walk out of such business? Except village people are playing drum on your ears and you are listening and you are dancing to their tune. That's the only reason. That's the only reason that can make someone to leave this amazing opportunity. Okay, now, let me help us understand. That's why John D. Rockefeller said, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's effort than 100% of my own effort. Okay, that was why did he say that? He says he rather earns 1% of 100 people than for him to earn 100% of his own effort. Why did he say that? The moment he's earning 100% of his own effort, if anything happens to him, the entire business collapses. The business collapses because he has to put in effort to earn. He has to put in effort to earn. Okay, I hope you can hear me. Please, I hope you can hear me. I can't hear myself. I just lost out network on my second device.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the moment anything happens to him, he loses, everything. But imagine if he's making 1% from 100 people. If he's making 1% from 100 people, now if anything happens to him or anything happens to some of his teammates, he will still be earning. There is no way he can have a zero income. Why? Because he has been able to duplicate himself in the life of other people. Okay, now let's take this scenario. Let's assume that is you so that we can better understand this concept. Now, let's assume that is you. You just join us. You just joined this business. Okay. Now, let's assume you just sign up, and in your first month on signing up, you are able to get 5 active partners. 5 people that have joined you, or maybe 5 active partners. Okay. Then you taught these 5 people. Okay. The last slide. Please, you need to screenshot and make it fast. My time is limited. Please, I may not be going back again and again. Honestly, my time is fast gone. I have to move fast. All right. So once you see any slide, just screenshot. Okay, and then our leaders will have this slide once we are done. So just focus, please. All the leaders will have this slide. I'll make it available. Okay. So just focus. And if you can just take note, just take note. Okay. Now, let's assume you just came on board, and we have this new structure, this new structure, this redesigned CFG C21 FG structure. And then they say when you come on board, you should try and get your 5 people. Okay, now let's assume you have been able to get your 5 people, or maybe 5 active partners. Then, when the moment they come into their business, that's you. Now, then you are able to teach them how to get their 5. Okay, pay attention. You just got started, for instance, you are a fresh person. Now, you just got started, you registered immediately, and then, as we'll be working with you, you are able to get your first 5. In your first 1 month. Now, these first 5 people that you got, there was something you did to get the 5. So now, in duplication says you should duplicate yourself into those 5. So the first person that registered, you start working with him the same way you got him. Start also teaching him to get his 5. Let's assume in your second month, all these your 5 people also have been able to get their 5. Okay, so you are going to be having that's 25 people that have joined your business. Your 5 were able to get 5, plus your 5 altogether, that will be 30. Now look at number 3. Now, if we repeat the same thing you did, that is the first 5 people, you have been able to teach them, and then they got their 5. Okay, your team has expanded to 25 people, plus your 5, that will be 30. Okay, now, if these same 25 people are able to get their 5, in your third month, you should be able to have 125,000 partners. Or if you are working very well with them, with the system, let's assume they are all active partners, you should be able to get 125 partners. Now, it will be easy for your 25 people to get 5 people that will give you 125 new recruits than for you alone to get 125 people. It's going to take you time. It's going to take you effort. It's going to take you energy. You will put everything. And in 3 months, it will only take the grace of God for you to get 125 people. Okay, but it can easily, through leverage, through the power of duplication, you are sharing your time with your first five. Now, it will be very, very easy with minimal effort for your five to be able to get their five. Instantly, you're having 25. And it will be far, far easier with minimal effort for your 25 for each to get their five. Now, if you are able to run with these principles, honestly, in less than a year, you will have been able to build massive, massive, massive things. When I got started, I didn't understand this concept, and I paid dearly for it. I was a one-man soldier. I was just walking. You will see me in Calabar. You will see me in Uyo. You will see me in Latvia. You will see me. In fact, I was flying earpiece until they gave me an award. I just came one day, my economy class, and they said, no, sir, you have been upgraded to first class. I was like, no, I didn't pay for first class. They said, but your ticket is reading first class because of massive short links, and I use a lot of energy, and every time I go, I build. The moment I leave, it crashes. Every time I go, I build. The moment I leave, it crashes. You know why? Because I didn't understand this principle. I was to pour out myself to my first five and then watch them do the errors, do the mistake, correcting them back to back, pushing them to the field, and then, walking with them until they are able to stand. And then I see them also walking to have their own five, having their own five. Till today, I will have built massive, massive, massive team. I was talking about leverage. I was presenting in our slide there's leverage principle there. You are doing IPO, there's leverage principle there. We talk about it. We talk about Paul J. Getty. We talk about these things, but how many of us understand it? And that's why there is massive attrition in so many of our teams, because we lack understanding. But after today's meeting, I'm sure we're going to take correction, and then we start understanding and then running with the principle of leverage. Okay, it's been said that if you want to go fast, that you go alone, but that if you want to go far, you go together. This an African proverb. If you want to go fast, that was what I was doing. I was moving fast. But before I knew it, I turned my back and I was just alone. I was left all by myself. Okay? But if you want to go far, then you should go together. Now, let's quickly take these three scenarios. Okay? Now, the first scenario, if you join this organization and you get one person in your downline and the two of you work together, it will only require 50% of both, 50% of effort from both of you. You have one person, you just join and you have one person. So if you can do 50% of the job, of your effort, and then you train this other person that joins you, immediately he's joining, you take him through. And we know how to duplicate, right? We know the principle. You allow them to see you do it, then you allow them, then you now teach them, then you now allow them to try it, and then you now allow them to have it. Okay, so these are the 4 steps. You do it, and then you teach them, and then you allow them to try, and then you allow them to now have it, to own it. Okay, so if you are able to do that to the first person that joined, so you will be doing like 50% effort, and that your new downline person will be doing 50%. You will be able to achieve 100%. Now, if that one person that just joined you quits, your business will be producing at 50%. That is if you don't increase your effort. So that does not mean that the moment you are doing business and your downline that join is doing business, that does not mean that if you quit, that you stop earning. No, because you are still doing business. Now, the moment he quits, you still have your 50% effort. So that means you will still be making money, except you stop. You are not doing anything, and that is when you will open your DTC and your DTC will be staring at you. You will want to open your DTC and see something there, and you open and it will be looking back at you. Why? Because it's either the person has quitted and then you are not doing anything. But if you are able, that one person has quitted, and that's not our plan, okay, we are not saying people will quit, but some people will just want to quit. Now, let's assume that person quitted. You can either double your effort or you continue with your 50%. You will still be able to achieve a level of income. Now, let's take this second scenario. If you have 20 people in your downline and everyone just has to produce, 50% effort in your business to operate. Is it 50% now? Okay, now in your downlines, yes. Okay, 5%, sorry. If you have 20 people in your downline and everybody has to just produce 5% of effort in your business, you operate as what? At 100%. Now, let's assume 4 people get sick from those 20 people and no one improves their effort. Your business will still be operating at 80% because you still have 16 people that are still grinding. Okay, so there is never a time you will look at your business and you are not making money. You can see this second scenario is far better than the first scenario. Now you're having 20 people. So even if 4 people decide to quit or they are sick at the same time, you will still be operating at 80%. That is the power of leverage. Now let's take a look at the third scenario. Now, if you have 100 people in your downline and everyone is giving you 1%. Now look at from the first scenario, 50% effort, leverage now drops it to 5%, and you can still be achieving 100% result. Now, by the time you have 100 people, leverage now drops the effort to 1%. You will still be hitting your 100% effort. Now, if 9 out of these 100 people decide to quit or they are sick, your business will still be operating at 91%. Now, every time, last 2 weeks, Ambassador Blessing Asuko presented an amazing presentation, and our mastermind said he has never had any time that his business stagnated. Why? Because he has been able to duplicate in each of the accounts, each of his legs. He has been able to duplicate countless number of people, leaders on each leg. So, for instance, God forbid, where I am today, where I am in our mastermind's leg, in his structure, Ambassador Dr. Elijah, but God forbid, I'm not quitting, okay? Nothing will make me quit. Now, I'm just illustrating. Let's assume I decide to quit. Our mastermind will feel nothing. That his account will not feel nothing. You know why? Because there are so many leaders that he has been able to raise on that leg. Nothing, no shaking. God forbid, nobody is quitting. I'm just giving, I want your eyes to open. It's not just about doing this business. It's about raising leaders. And that's what we are doing. It's about duplicating, seriously duplicating leaders. That is the concept of leverage. So that even if somebody decides to get angry and say, I not do again, nothing happens. Okay? So that's the power. You still have some good number of leaders on that would be producing, manufacturing result. That is the power of leverage. You will never, if you are able to understand this concept, you will never run out of money. You will never be stranded. Your business will continue to move from one level of strength to a higher dimension of strength. You see this concept? I didn't understand it on time, and it costed me a lot. Okay, now let's go deeper. Leverage is doing the work once and getting paid over and over again. Leverage is about getting paid after the work is done, many times over. You can't get these advantages in your place of work. You can never. There is nowhere an employee or somebody that is working that can get these things I'm talking to you about. It can only happen in our business. To enjoy leverage, you don't have to be smart. No, you don't have to be wealthy or create more time. This our business is not about being very, very smart. It's about understanding. It's about understanding what we do. And what we are doing is cashing out on this powerful concept. What we are doing is duplicating ourselves in the lives of people. What we are doing is raising leaders, that can stand and perform even better than what we are doing. All right. So those that enjoy leverage are not different from you. They don't have 4 heads. They don't have 4 hands. They are just as you are. Some of you are even smarter than them, but they are making more money. Why? Because they discovered this concept on time. But why are they creating massive success? Because they understand and recognize the tremendous value of leverage. They leverage to achieve their ultimate freedom. They have learned to harness the power of leverage. They understood how to work with people. They have learned the principle of raising leaders and allowing them to just get results for themselves. As those leaders are getting results, of course, this other that is their leader is also getting more result from their activity. They have learned, they are able to magnify small result or small efforts and small resources quickly into huge result. The amount of success that I've been able to achieve in this organization, honestly, there was no way I would have been able to achieve it elsewhere. And looking at the time within which that success came, within a year or two, everything has been turned around. What I've not been able to achieve when I was a civil servant, in 6 years, I was able to achieve it in less than a year as a result of this principle. Okay, they use leverage to gain maximum advantage. Now, let's compare that your job and what we are doing. That your job that is stopping you from doing this business, from focusing on this business. They call you, submit your list. They call you, come for training. They tell you, come for retreats, come for convention and all that. You give 1,001 excuses. Okay, that work, that business, that side income that is distracting you from this business, let's x-ray it. Okay, let's compare it vis-a-vis what we are doing. Okay, please stay with me. A lot of us are getting distracted. And this is one other thing that has costed me a lot. You just get distracted doing things that do not matter. Instead of us to remain focused, we are making money here. We are putting money in things that is derailing us from where the real money is. And some of us, we are tied to our jobs. Okay, I'm not saying you should leave your job. That's not what I'm saying. But let's x-ray that your job and the business that we are doing. Then I'll leave you to your decision. And after today's meeting, you will not be saying, you will not be operating and say, I didn't know if I had known. Okay, so we'll leave you to your decision so that if you decide to focus in what we are doing and build leverage income for yourself, for you and for your generation, you will see the result. And if you decide to joke with it and focus on some little things you are doing, side business, side income, or focus on your job, you and your generation will also live with the consequences of your decision. Okay, but my assignment this morning is to make it clear so that you'll be able to make up your mind and know where you are and what you want to do. Now, if you are working now, That's that's you by the left, self-employed person, and then a networker. Now, what is your income? How do you earn? Now, if you are working or you are doing business, your income is defined as rate times time. How much you will, whatever you do is rated, okay, per hour. Then you earn per the number of hour you put, okay? Now, but in this our business, your income is not just rate times time. Leverage is added. And that leverage makes a huge difference. And I'm going to explain it. Now, if you are working, you have to work hard every day to create an income. You have to be there to earn, right? But here in our business, you build a support team who are good at what they are doing. And for the rest of your life, you keep earning. Now, that income that you earn, you invest that income. You know, as you're working, money is coming, you have to invest it so that you create wealth. Now, as you're creating wealth, this wealth has no leverage. Whatsoever you are doing, whatsoever you are making money, it's just tied to that level of income. It will be very, very, very difficult for you to leverage on people. You can only use people. People are being used as employees. That is why if you are here and you are working for a boss, you will see that your boss will be making all the money. That boss is leveraging on you. And if you are the boss, you are making all the money. You are just using people. There is no leverage to employees. They give their time, they give their effort, they give their energy. When you are tired of them, when their salary becomes big, you can easily sack them and then employ another person that you can pay him half of what you are paying this other guy. So there's no leverage for an employee. It's only the bosses and the orgas that use the staff and then they leverage on the staff. And even that their leverage has limitation because it's tied to the number of staff that they can have. Okay, so the boss only makes the money as an employee. Now let's come back to our business. If you are into this our business, you build a support team and who are good at what they do. This support team invests their time, they invest their ideas, they invest their money, they invest their contact, they invest their relationship to build their own wealth. They are doing their own business for themselves, but every activity they do pay you. The office I got in Kaduna, I put my money there and I started running it. The offices, most of the offices that God has helped me to have is my own money. I'll go, I'll pay for the place, I'll fix up the place, I'll start running the place. But every activity I'm doing pays me and pays my leader. And imagine if you are a leader and you have 20 people, you have 30 people, you have 50, you have 100, that they are using their own time. They are using their own ideas, money, contact, relationship for their own business. But every of their activities, every of their investment pays you. You can never have this outside network marketing. It does not exist. Now, which create massive wealth for you. Now, this massive wealth creates tremendous leverage for life for you. Here in our business is a win-win process where everyone can become successful. It's not like in your organization where only the boss make the money. No. Once you are here, for instance, I cannot say I'm just working for our mastermind. No, I'm working for myself. I'm winning, he's also winning. Those up above me are also winning. So in this, our business, everyone that is serious wins, becomes successful. I become successful at my own level. You know, I have my own people working with me. I'm successful. My uplines are becoming successful at their own level. So with this, our business, if you are doing it, if you are giving it, everybody wins. It's not like in the industrial setup where only the boss wins. Okay, so that is the power of what we do. And listen to what J. Paul Getty said. He said, I'd rather have 1% of the effort of 100 men than 100% of my effort. Now, we know about this thing. We do a lot of the presentation. But how many of us understand it? They ask you to take 3 million or to take 1 kobo that duplicates on a daily basis. Now, look at the power of this. Look at the power of this principle. From your day 1 to your day 15, somebody that left with 3 million naira will be thinking he has made money. You know, he'll be thinking you're wasting time. Even you yourself, you'll be thinking you're frustrated. You know, I would have gone with the 3 million because 15 days into the 30 days, you have just made about 327 naira. Now, but look at the principle. Why am I bringing this? I want you to understand the principle. On day 1 that you started, it was 1 kobo. That 1 kobo, after the close of that day, added. So it becomes 1 plus 1 kobo becomes 2 kobo. You resume the next day at the close of work. That is the same 2 kobo that you started with that duplicated. Now, you look at day 14. It's the same principle in day 14. Day 14, we have 163 naira, 84 kobo. Now, on day 15, that same 163 duplicated. It's just duplicating. It's one principle that is duplicating. But after time, you know, the duplicating power increases. Now, let's go to the last day, 30th day. On the 30th day, it goes down. On the 30th day, you have 10,737,418.24 kobo. Now, look at the power. On 30th day, it duplicated when you resume work on day 31. It duplicated, that means 10,737,418.24 kobo now duplicated itself, and then it became 21,474,836 naira 48 kobo. Listen, from day 1 to day 30 is the same principle. Please pay attention. The principle has not changed, but the quantity, with time, the duplicating power increase. It's just time between your earnings on the 15th day and your earnings on the 30th day. Is just time. It's just time but the principle is the same. What am I saying? If you are able to stay with us and do this business, and you're consistently doing this business, it's just a matter of time. It may start coming in trickles. It may start coming in trickles. But if you continue, by the time you are 6 months, that effort begins to duplicate. It begins to double. By the time you are 1 year, you have created massive success. By the time you are 2 years, it's the same principle. It duplicates itself. That is the power of our business. And most of us don't understand it. And that's why when you start and you don't see results, you start getting discouraged. You are putting money on data. You are attending sales meeting. You are making calls. You are paying for events. And it's as if nothing is coming in. Please don't give up. You are not losing anything. We don't lose in this organization. We either succeed or we learn. That is what happened in network marketing. You either succeed or you learn. Nobody loses. So, but if you continue to do it over time, that power will pay out. And then suddenly you see yourself making money. That is the power of leverage. Now, as I begin to round up, let's look at linear income versus leverage income. Linear income is the income you make from your salary. Okay? Now, let's also look at leverage income, the money we make from this business. Okay? Now, this will be the last example I'll be making, and then I'll bring the meeting to a close. All right? Now, if this example I just gave you, you are not fully okay with it, then let's compare it with your linear income. Now, what is a linear income? Linear income is a traditional income you get for working, and you get paid only when you work, just like your salary, okay? And then we know it's limited. Your salary is fixed. Promotion comes whenever. Of course. And then by the time you are 35 years, you have to retire. And I hope you know that there's no retirement fund again. Government is not ready to fund retirement again. Okay? So in case you are waiting when you retire, that somebody will take care of you, forget about that. Okay, so let's come back. So here is a quick bit of mathematics. Let's go through this. Please stay with me. Now, let's assume that work you're going, you resume by 8, you close by 4. That's how many hours? Please, I'll need our responses in the chat handle. You go to work, okay? Yes, no one loses in network marketing. Now, please, can we pay attention? I want us to understand this. Now, you go to work by 8. That's 8 hours. Thank you, Deborah. Now, you work from Monday. Thank you. You work from Monday to Friday. 8 times 5. 8 times 5 will give you how many hours in a week? That's 40 hours. Thank you. That's 40 hours, okay? Now, we have 52 weeks in a year, right? We have 52 weeks in a year. Can you help me times 40 by 52? 40 hours in a week times, yes, in a week, times 52 weeks in a year. Yes, times it, 40 hours times. Yes, thank you so much. That means in a year, in your workplace, you will be able to put 2,080 hours. Am I correct? 2,080 hours. Yes, we are correct. All right. Now, let's assume you work for 35 years, right? Whichever comes first, either 42 years of age or 35 years of service. Please, civil servants, am I correct? 35 years of service or 62. Am I correct? Civil servants? Yes. So let's go with 35 years of service. Okay. So you are putting 2,080 hours a year. Now, yeah, okay, 60 years of age. Let's forget about the age. Let's work with 35 years of service. Okay, thank you, sir. Let's work with 35 years of service. So can somebody help me times 2,080 hours by 35 years? Yes, you are going to come up with 72,800 hours. That means your whole life working. That is the number of hours that you can make. If you are working 5 hours, you are working 8 hours in a day, 5 days in a week, 52 weeks in a year, and then you have worked for 35 years. You are going to be paid for 72 hours, for 72,800 hours. This is what you will be paid. And by the time you are retired, of course, if you are lucky to must have made savings or investment, then you start struggling. If you are not lucky and no savings, no investment, then you start struggling. That is why Obasanjo said that retirement should not be paid for more than 10 years, because most civil servants, when they retire, they cannot last more than 10 years. That's why your own pension can only last 10 years, with just a little variation from some few organizations. Okay, so after 10 years, that's all. So you finish, you have been paid for 72,800 hours, and now you are finished. There's nothing, you are old, no strength, nothing to do. And that's why people die on time after retirement, because then the bills will be coming very, very high. Your children might be in the university then, they've not started working, and then a lot of things. And then that's why you see people, their blood pressure will go up, and before you know it, cardiac arrest, and then the guy is gone. Now, let's come to this, our business. Let's come to this, our business. Please stay with me. Let's come to this, our business. Let us be conservative and say you introduce 5 people into your business within your first 1 month, okay? And then this your 5 people. We are talking about this your business. Let's assume you have been able to build this in 6 months. 6 months from the time you get started. You got started within your first 1 month, you are able to get 5 people. Okay, then this your 5 people, you mentor them, you pour out yourself into them, and then they are able to get their 5 people. So you are going to have about 25 people in your team. We are taking a building, you are building your business, this your business within the first 6 months that you get started, okay? So your 5 people plus your 25 people, All right, there are 25 people now getting their 5 people. In your first 6 months, you should be able to come up with what? 125 people. Okay, now your 5 plus the first 25 that you got. Now this your 25 now got their 5. That means they got 125. So that means 30. Your 5 plus 25 that you got, that's 30. Then plus the 25 from the 5 that your 25 downlines got, that will be 125,000. So if you add 125 people downlines with your 30 people, you are going to come up with 155 people downlines within 6 months. Of course, this is nothing. We have seen someone that just got 600, one month has got 600 and something in her whole hub, 600 and something codes. Okay, so getting 155 people in 6 months, honestly, is an underestimation. I'm just trying to be very, very conservative. I don't want to exaggerate this. Okay, now let's assume within your first 6 months, you have been able to raise a team of 155 people. Okay, now let's assume each of this person that you have raised give 5 hours every day of their time to do this business. So 5 hours times 6 days, Mondays to Saturday. Let's assume you rest on Sunday. Okay, we are advised to take 1 day to rest. Okay, you can't work all the 7 days. All right, so let's assume you rest on Sunday. So you do your business Mondays to who? To Saturday. That's 6 days. Now 5 hours times 6, that will give you 30 hours in a week. Where are my guys? Are we together? Can you help me? 5 hours times 6 days, that will give us 30 hours in a week. Am I correct? All right, please, I need us to be doing it together. 5 hours times 6 days, yes, 30 hours in a week. Okay, then we have how many hours? Then we have now, if you time this 30 hours by the 155 people, help me times 30 hours by this your 155 downlines. You are going to come up with 4,650 hours. Correct, Bankole, thank you so much. 4,650 hours in a week. Stay with me, in a week. Then times it by 52 weeks in a year. Times it by 4,650. Help me times it by 52 weeks in a year. You and your team will have been able to have 241,800 hours in just about 1 year, 6 months. Now, please stay with me. The person that is working, yes, thank you. Please pay attention. Now, this is the key point. This is the key point. If you decide to stay in your place of work, if you decide to be running your one-man business and you're putting 8 hours every day, in the next 35 years, add 35 years to your number of years, you're already aging. In the next 35 years, you'll be able to only be paid for 72 hours, 72,800 hours. But if you are able to duplicate within 1 year, duplicate yourself into 5 of your people, and this your 5 people duplicate themselves into their 5, and that their 5 duplicate themselves into their 5s. Remember, you are not the only one duplicating. You duplicated yourself into your 5, you got 25 people, and then these 25 people duplicated yourself. So the number of hours that you are putting effort is shared among 25 people. Now, if you are able to have a team of 155 partners, connectors, in 1 year, 6 months, and each of them put 5 hours every week, you are going to be paid for 241,800 hours. That is times 3 in 1 year, 6 months. 1 year, 6 months of starting your business. That is times 3 of what a self-employed person or a civil servant can earn in his lifetime working, you'll be able to make ×3 of it in 1 year, 6 months. Amazing. When I discovered this, it blew my mind. I told myself, I said, oh boy, and I hear we go day. Not moving anywhere. I found something by the grace of God I'll be doing for the rest of my life. And this is just your first year, 1 year, 6 months. Imagine what will happen in the second year as a result of leverage, massive duplication. And that is where these are the principles that all our leaders that are successful today, anyone that is being celebrated, our masterminds, our GA leaders, these are the principles they are running with. And within a short period of time, they have created massive success. Now, a word of caution. Some of you are feeling, why should they be using me? No, nobody is using you. If you are a leader, we are not saying you should go and start using people. No. When I started my testimony, I showed you a series of pictures where our mastermind, Ambassador Dr. Elijah Mba, has poured himself into me. Dr. Mba taught me close down on phone. He just called me, my first presentation. I was taught close down on phone. So he asked me, Pastor Dikko, are you in the office? I said, yes. He said, can you present? I said, yes. Can you close me down? I said, yes. I did the close down for him on phone. Then he was still working. He has not retired. And then he said, he corrected me. And then he said, Pastor Dikko, go. And on that presentation, my goodness, you need to see, if you are around from all the other offices, people were hearing my voice. I was literally screaming. I was vomiting fire and brainstorm because I didn't want to fail. And on my first presentation, through coaching and mentorship, through observing how things are being done, I was able to get 4 sign-up. And that was how I was being, inducted into this amazing organization. Dr. Mba worked with me every day, midnight, during the day. He would call me to the office. He would send materials, working with me back to back. Before I could start, before he would say he wants to use me, he has already poured out himself, spent his time, spent his resources, spent his skills on me. When I became stable, after he has watched me and he's still watching me, then I started having results. Then those his investments started paying back to him. My spiritual father will say something, that you cannot say a pastor is your son when you have not cleaned his bum. No, for a child to be your son, you must be able to clean, remove his diapers. If you are not ready to pour out yourself to your downlines, they will never be able to pay you back. If you are here and you are feeling you just want to be using people and be dumping them, they will never yield. The only way you will enjoy this principle is when they start earning. When your downlines start earning, when you train them to a level where they can stand, they are like independent, they don't need you to succeed, then every of their activity for the rest of their lives begin to pay you. And that is when you start creating leverage. Now, if you are here, you are a downline, and you are feeling, I don't want to be used. Nobody can use me. Sorry for you. Network marketing is not meant for you. You better go back to your job or go back to your business. Nobody is using anybody here, okay? We are mentoring you for you. If you decide to do what we are asking you to do, you see the result. If you decide not to do it, you reap the consequences. So in this, our business is a win-win situation. Okay, the mastermind, the leaders are pouring themselves. We are trying to raise you up, and you have to also give yourself and do what we are asking you to do. At the end of the day, everything you are doing and your team will be doing, you will be reaping the benefit for the rest of your life. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. I'm super grateful. My time is up, and I'll bring this meeting to a close. Thank you so much, leader, mastermind. the phenom himself, Ambassador Dr. Elijah Amba. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you all our masterminds, our president, the entrepreneurial mentor himself. I also want to specially thank all our G leaders, particularly Dr. Tony, Ambassador Dr. Tony, Ambassador Acted Moses Onu, and my own personal G leader, Ambassador Dr. Imelda. Thank you so much. Amazon Sophie, I'm done.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Pastor Dikko on the comment section. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him on the comment section. We can do better, Star Nation. We can do better. It's not easy. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for opening our eyes. Thank you for opening our inner eyes. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate, and we do not take this training for granted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, who's excited? Who's happy? Who's excited? If you're excited, go over to the comment section and type leverage. If you're excited, go over to the comment section and type leverage. If you're excited, go over to the comment section and type leverage. Star Nation, do not take this training for granted. Let us not just be here, but let us be doers. Let's put it into practice, okay? And it's going to work for us. Thank you so much, Ambassador Pastor Dikko. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. All right, so what about now? Our Star Nation, let's be reminded that our Star Nation recognition will hold tomorrow in Millionaire School. So do not miss tomorrow Millionaire School for your teammates in the meeting. Make sure you get your teammates to attend the meeting. Do not miss tomorrow Millionaire School for anything. I'm telling us now, do not tomorrow Millionaire immersion. Who knows when the immersion, who knows when our immersion will be holding? Who knows the month? We'll be traveling over to Lagos for our immersion. Who knows the month? Who knows the month? When is our immersion? Who knows the month? All right, I saw somebody said, okay, all right, September. Remember, the immersion is open to only Kingsmen. If you're not a Kingsman, you cannot attend the immersion. So make sure that you keep the Kingsmen rank, enable you attend the immersion, okay? Let's be reminded, set your alarm. In fact, take advantage of challenge 36. Take advantage of challenge 36. Okay, keep on recruiting, keep on talking to individuals, keep on doing the home launch, keep on doing the activities, and trust me, you're actually going to get there. All right. So let's remember that our Mombasa trip as well will be holding in September. Our Mombasa trip. Let's remember that our Mombasa trip is in September. Okay, our Mombasa in September. So let's be reminded, and you know how many codes, you know how many gift check rather, you know how many gift check it is 50 gift check. It is 50 gift check. So let's be reminded, okay, how many of us have, you know, how many of us have generated, how many of us have started generating? I'm sure we all have started generating. Post how many gift checks you started generating on the comment section. Just post how many gift checks, just post how many gift checks you generated so far. Post how many gift checks you generated so far. I want to see the answers on the comment section. I want to see how many gift checks you had so far. Post it on the comment section. Okay, I can see from the market 3. Wow. You have 47 more to do. You can do better. I can see blessing 5. You can do better. Oh, somebody said 50. Fast now. You generated 50 gift checks already. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. Okay. So our Mombasa trip will be coming on. Our Mombasa trip will be coming up. All right, like I said, it's 50 gift checks to help you qualify for the trip. It is 50 gift checks to help you qualify for the trip, okay? All right, so remember that the challenge is ending in September. Remember that the challenge is ending in September. We started on 15th of last month, and it's going to end 15th of September, okay? The challenge is ending 15th of September, okay? That's the Mombasa challenge. All right, so make sure you are partaking in this. Make sure that you have friends. I'm sure we all have friends the speakers of our DCC to our leaders. Make sure you qualify for this. It's going to be a life opportunity. It's going to change your business forever, ever. So make sure that you are in this script, okay? You are on the script. Now, our Kingsman induction will be coming up this month on the 23rd of July. So let's take note. This is another chance for us to be inducted as Kingsmen. Okay, so the next induction is on the 23rd. Set your alarm. Make sure that you're connecting your 5 direct. Make sure you're connecting your 5 direct to enable you get inducted and for you to qualify for the immersion. Okay, so make sure you are being inducted on the 23rd of July. Let's take advantage. Okay, so thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that listening to this announcement. Thank you to everybody that stayed to the end of this meeting. God bless you all. Okay, the next induction. Okay. All right. So let's also thank God for the success of our Lagos event. Let's also thank God for the success of our Lagos event. You know, we had our Lagos event on Saturday and Sunday. Congratulations to those persons that took advantage. You know, thank God. It was a success. It was amazing. We had 178 sign up. Oh my goodness, who is excited? Who is excited? To everybody that took advantage, congratulations. Massive congratulations. Remember, we are building leaders. Congratulations to everybody. Congratulations, massive congratulations. And we also thank God. We thank our mastermind ambassador, Dr. Elijah Amba. We also thank our leaders that were present over there. We thank the Eagle himself, Ambassador Axel Moses. We thank our Elite Amazon Ambassador, Miss Imelda. Thank you. God bless you all for all you do for us. Thank you. I also want to thank the Ambassador Dr. Elijah Amba for especially giving us this privilege. You know, every single thing will not be able to get the success, will not be able to have the success if not for him, if not that he said yes to the vision. Thank you so much, sir, for being selfless. Let's appreciate our ambassador on the comment section. Let's appreciate our leader on the comment section. If your hands are not too busy, go over to the comment section, say a prayer for our leaders. Say a prayer for our mentor. If your hands are not too busy, go and celebrate them on the comment section. If your hands are not too busy, go over to the comment section and appreciate our leader. Thank you so much. The Philip, the Odogu one of Star Nation. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. God bless you and God bless you. Now, this is another week for us to take advantage. This is another week, okay? I thank God, okay, because our week is going to be fruitful. Our week is going to be amazing. So let's take advantage. Let's do that home lunch. Let's do the activities so we can reap our results, okay? Thank you so much for everybody. I want to appreciate every single person again that stayed to the end of this meeting. We're over 1,000. I'm sure we have some persons and I celebrate our GA delegates. I celebrate you all. We love you. Thank you for being selfless. Thank you for every single thing that you do for us. Okay, and our leaders may God bless you all. God bless you. Thank you so much. End of term meeting. Make sure you're putting in the work. Make sure you're putting in the work. Make sure you're doing the activities. Okay. Bye, everybody. God bless you. See you same time next week. Make sure you connect on time. Okay. Bye.